Then I also told you I am following this reference textbook that one is shown here, page number 2005 to 2018 and 2020. Okay, and all figures are taken from this reference book. Okay, so now we are going to take the first one, liquid to liquid heat exchanger. We are going to discuss about the control of liquid to liquid heat exchanger. What is so from the name itself you can see that before and after heat transaction, both process medium and heat transfer medium remains as liquid. Process medium is liquid, heat transfer medium is liquid before and after heat transaction. There is no phase change in both process medium and heat transfer medium. So please remember that. That is why the name liquid to liquid heat exchanger. Okay. Okay. So we can classify liquid to liquid heat exchanger into two. One is cooler and second one is heater. So please note down these two diagrams. Means by using the symbol itself you can identify the type of heat exchanger. Okay. So here first is the cooler. You can see that this is two parallel lines. Two parallel lines are there. The direction is not important, either this side or this side you can take the direction. Okay. So you can take this one as the direction. So you can see that two parallel lines means this is process medium and this is a continuous line. So this is liquid before and after operation. Means phase of process medium is not changed. We are considering this diagram. So phase of process medium is not changed. Now here you can see that this is a heat transfer medium because a single line is used and that is continuous. Continuous means that is liquid. Single means for cooling purpose. So single continuous line means this one is a cooling liquid. So cooling liquid is used to decrease the temperature. For cooling purpose we are using cooling liquid. So from this symbol itself we can say this one is cooler. From this single line itself we can identify this one is a cooler. Okay, and what is the second thing? If you are considering this heat transfer medium, before and after operation this one is a continuous line, means the phase of heat transfer medium is also not changed. Before and after operation this heat transfer medium remains as liquid, means both process medium and heat transfer medium remains as liquid. Before and after operation both process medium and heat transfer medium are liquid. So there is no change in phase. So what is happening? Only temperature is changing. Means if you are say the temperature of this one is T1, temperature of this one is T2, temperature of this one is T2, then T2, that is temperature after the heat transaction. This is used for cooling purpose. So definitely T2 is less than T1. Okay. Now temperature of cooler before effector is T3, this cooling medium before effect is T3 and after effect T4. And what is happening to this heat transfer medium? It is absorbing energy from this process medium. So definitely the temperature of heat transfer medium will increase. So heat transfer medium point of view, T4 is greater than T3. Is it okay? So T2 is less than T1 because the temperature of process medium is decreased because it is cooler, and due to that the temperature of heat transfer medium is increased from T3 to T4. Now it will have two more variables, that is WP, that one is a mass flow rate of process medium, and WH, that one is a mass flow rate of heat transfer medium. So you can see that here we have 6 variables. Okay. And what are the parameters associated with the process medium? Because due to heat transaction temperature is changed, phase is not changed. So here the specific heat of process medium is Cp, and here also due to the heat transaction temperature is changed, not phase. So here C we can label it as Ch, the specific heat of heat transfer medium. Now what is the heat energy transferred by the process medium? The heat energy transferred by the process medium is Cp into Wp into the temperature difference, that is largest one minus smallest one, okay, equal to what is the heat energy absorbed by the cooling medium, that is CH into WH into the temperature difference due to this heat transaction. So the greater one is T4 minus T3. Okay, so this is T3. So you can see that this cooler is represented by using this process equation. We have one equation, and how many variables are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 variables are there. So the degrees of freedom is 6 minus 1, 5. 5 is the degrees of freedom. Means we can implement a maximum of 5 independent control loops. Or if you want to increase the degrees of freedom, we need to increase the number of variables. That is the only choice. Otherwise, with this setup, the number of degrees of freedom or the degrees of freedom of this one is 5 only. So this is about cooler, and you can see one more thing. I told you through shell. In shell, the medium with high temperature is filled inside this shell. Am I correct? And the medium with small temperature is flowing through the tube. So here we have to consider the temperature medium before effect. So here you can see that before the heat transaction, the temperature of process medium is large, relatively large. So that one is filled inside the shell, and the cooling liquid have relatively small temperature. So that is flowing through the tube. Now to consider heater. What about heater? Heater, you can see that in heater also, the process medium is liquid before and after operation. Why? Because we are using continuous 2 lines. 2 lines means that is process medium. Continuous means that is liquid. So before and after operation, that is process liquid. What about heat transfer medium? Before and after operation, we have continuous bubbles. Bubbles means for heating purpose. Continuous means liquid. So this is liquid for heating purpose. So this is heating liquid. Before and after operation, that one is heat liquid or hot liquid. Is it okay? So now, what is the purpose of this heat exchanger? So from this symbol of heat transfer medium itself, you can say this one is heater. This one is heater. Okay. So now, what are the variables associated with this heater? The same thing. We can use the same variables and parameters that we can copy into this diagram. With one difference, here before heat transition, temperature process medium is small, and after heat transition, temperature process medium is small, because we are using heater. Why we are using heater? To increase the temperature. So here T2 is greater than T1. Is it okay? And what about heat transfer medium? It is used for heating purpose. So definitely input side we have more temperature. That one is degrees. Why it is degree? That difference is transferred to this process medium. So here T3 is greater than T4. T3 is greater than T4, or T4 is less than T3. So we can use the same process equation here. The only difference is this term will become T2 minus T1. This term will become T3 minus T4. Actually, it will not means if you are changing the sign, if you are changing the position of these two, here also we are changing the position. Means we can use the same equation indirectly. Okay, but if you are deriving the equation, then here it must be T2 minus T1, and here we need T3 minus T4. So means for heater also, the number of independent variables are 6, and number of process equation used to represent heater is 1. So the degrees of freedom is 5. Means we can implement a maximum of 5 independent control loops. Okay, that is first thing. Second thing is, here before heat transition, process media have relatively small temperature, and that is why it is flowing through tube. And heat transfer medium have relatively large temperature before heat transaction. So that is why it is filled inside this shell. Is it okay? So these are the difference between, now you can say what are the differences and similarities between these two. Differences are, this one is for cooling purpose, this is for heating purpose. Here a cooling liquid is flowing through the tube, process medium is filled inside the shell. Here process medium is flowing through the tube and heat transfer medium is filled inside the shell. Is it okay? Then what are the similarities? These two have the same number of degrees of freedom, same number of independent variable. Both are represented by using the same process equation. Is it okay? So these are the similarities. Okay. So I am concluding this slide. So first one is, please note the fluid whose temperature is relatively low is flowing through the tube. So here this one and here this one, that is flowing through the tube, and the fluid whose temperature is relatively lower is filled inside the shell. Here this particular one and here this one, that one is filled inside the shell. Okay. And second thing is, here in both cases you can see that the temperature of both process medium and heat transfer medium are changed. The temperature of both process medium and heat transfer medium are changed. Phase of these two mediums are not changed. Okay. So due to this, the degrees of freedom of both cooler and heater is 6 minus 1, that is equal to 5. There are 4 temperature and 2 flow variables, so 6 independent variables are there and 1 defining equation is there. So the degrees of freedom is 6 minus 1 equal to 5. Is it clear, all of you? Any doubt? Okay. So we are going to discuss about the control of heat exchanger. So before controlling heat exchanger, what is the purpose of heat exchanger? Once again, please tell me, what is the purpose of heat exchanger? Why we are using heat exchanger? So we want to change the temperature of process medium. So the controlled variable is the temperature of process medium. Okay. Now the next question, which temperature or which side, the temperature of which side that we have to measure? Input side of process medium or the output side of process medium? Yes, because we have to check whether the heat transition is completed or not. So we have to check the temperature of the output temperature of process medium, means we have to check T2. We have to measure T2. Okay, so here you can see that both cooler and heater, we can see that the temperature of the output temperature of process medium is measured. Both case, output temperature of process medium is measured. Okay. Now, what is the process equation that we are using? We are using Cp into Wp into T, if you are considering this cooler for explanatory purpose, then T1 minus T2 is equal to CH, specific heat of heat transfer medium, that is cooling liquid, into WH, flow rate of heat transfer medium, into T4 minus T3. So this is a process equation. Okay. So here 6 process variables are there. What are the process variables? The variables involved in this process are WP, T1, T2, WH, T4 and T3. These are the variables involved. If you are considering more like ambient temperature, etc., the variables will increase. For explaining purpose, if you are avoiding the remaining variables, we have 6 variables: WP, T1, T2, WH, T4, T3. Out of these 6 process variables, we are controlling one variable, that is nothing but T2. we are controlling this T2. Means we need to maintain the T2 at a particular point. That is why we are measuring T2. We are measuring this temperature T2. Now, if you are removing the T2 from the list, we have 5 more variables. Means we can manipulate any one of these 5 variables. If you want, we can manipulate WP, T1, WH, T4, T3, any one. What is your choice? What you are going to manipulate? There are a number of selection criteria. Speed of response must be large. The relationship between manipulating variable and the control variable, here the control variable is T2. So the relation between manipulating variable and controlled variable must be linear. And the controlled variable, the speed of response of controlled variable must be relatively large with respect to the manipulating variable. The effect of disturbance on the manipulating variable must be small. A number of selection criteria are there. So if you are selecting T1, T4, T3, if you are selecting these 3, these are the slowest variables. So definitely we can select T1, T4, T3. Now the choice is of course WP and WH. So out of WP and WH, what is your choice? So here you can see that this flow rate of process medium that is affected by a number of situation. Means this process medium, this medium is coming from some another process, it is going to some another process, maybe some diversion, maybe something is associated with, some process is associated with this medium, or this medium is going through some another process. So definitely this medium is affected by something. Second thing is, say in distillation tower, you had seen that the feed must be, the temperature of feed must be maintained at a, between the bubble point and the dew point. Okay, and second thing, the feed flow rate must be maintained constant. So if you are giving, or if the process medium is, if you are feeding this process medium to a distillation tower, then the flow rate of process medium must be maintained constant. Means a number of situations are there. We have to consider a number of situations. So if you are considering all these things, then we can't manipulate the flow rate of process medium to change the temperature. That is not possible. Then the last choice is manipulating the heat transfer medium. So we can manipulate the heat transfer medium, because the heat transfer medium, that one is maybe pumped from some another source, but this heat transfer medium is pumped for this particular purpose only. Means it is used to transfer energy. Okay, so better thing is manipulate the flow rate of heat transfer medium. I told you, we are, for experiment purpose, we are considering this one. So before and after operation, the flow rate of this liquid is constant. Am I correct? So either we can implement controller at this particular point, means at the output side we can implement a controller, means final control element, or before heat transaction we can implement a control valve. Which side is favorable? That is a question. If you are considering cooler, you can see that at the input side control valve is installed. If you are considering heater, at the output side the control valve is installed. Okay, the reason is we are using control valve. In order to manipulate the flow rate, we are using control valve. If you are using control valve, then its control valve size, that is very, very important. Okay, temperature is an important factor. If you are implementing control valve in a relatively large temperature point, two problems are there. The control valve, around the control valve, the relative temperature is very large. So the problems like thermal expansion, leakage due to thermal expansion, etc. will be there. Definitely. The most important one is control valve size. Okay, control valve size is a very important. Okay. So in order to reduce the size of control valve, and in order to reduce the maintenance cost, we need to install control valve in relatively small temperature side. So if it is cooler, you can see that at the inlet side, control valve is installed because at the inlet side temperature is small, and in heater at the output side temperature is small, so the control valve is installed in this particular side. In the output side, control valve is installed or located. Is it okay? So that is very important if you are manipulating the flow rate of heat transfer medium. Please note what I said is applicable only for liquid to liquid heat exchanger. In steam heater and remaining heat exchanger, this one is different. For liquid to liquid heat exchanger, please note we are manipulating the heat transfer medium with relatively small temperature. Okay, and it is for improving the control quality. In order to improve the control quality, we are manipulating the relatively small temperature point. Okay. Now, the type of control valve and control mode. Okay, and before that, I told you as we are manipulating the heat transfer medium, especially this side, even if it is cooled, even if this one is condensate compared to this one, even if the temperature of this one is small, we can expect some thermal expansion here, but that one will be small if you are installing control valve in this low temperature side, but still we can expect some thermal expansion, because after the heat transition you can see that still this one is hot liquid, but compared to this part the temperature is small. That's the only difference. So still we can expect thermal expansion, so definitely we can expect some friction, etc., valve friction, etc. So in order to reduce the effect of that valve friction, normally we need to use a positioner. Especially for heater, we need to use a positioner. Okay, what is the purpose? In order to reduce the effect of valve friction. What are the effects? Hysteresis and dead bend, especially dead bend. That one is a big effect of that valve friction. Okay. Now we are using equal percentage valve, and you know why we are using equal percentage valve. What is the importance of equal percentage valve? In control of chemical reactor, we discussed about the importance of equal percentage valve. If you are handling temperature, in temperature application, the biggest problem is without control valve, the loop gain will decrease with respect to the increase of heat transfer medium load, means flow rate, means the process gain will decrease. So for perfect control action, loop gain must be constant. So what we need, in order to compensate this decrease in loop gain, we need some device which will increase the gain with respect to the heat transfer medium load. So the best one is equal percentage valve. The loop equal percentage valve, the gain of equal percentage valve will increase exponentially with respect to the load effect. So I think you are remembering that class. So loop gain without, or the process gain, loop gain without control valve means process gain will decrease with respect to the flow rate, means load effect. Okay, and the loop gain of control valve will increase, not exponentially, I am very sorry, linearly with respect to the flow rate. Okay, so if you are multiplying these two gain, the loop gain will be constant or almost constant. So for that purpose, equal percentage valve is used. Equal percentage valve is providing this type of varying gain with respect to varying load. So that is why equal percentage valve is used. Okay. Now, as temperature is the slowest variable, normally in temperature applications, PID controller is used. Okay. PID controller means this P mode, D mode and I mode have different purpose. Normally, P mode is used to increase the speed of response, especially speed of rise. That is a need of P. So in order to increase the speed of response, we need to use proportional controller with a little bit large Kp value. But please note this, after using that proportional controller, the proportional band must not be a very narrow band. Okay, something around 10% or 20% situation must be avoided. Okay, so we can't give very large Kp value. What is the problem? It will give very small band, or it will give a narrow band. What is the problem with that narrow band? The system will become unstable. Slowly, oscillation will increase. At a particular Kp value, it will become sustained oscillation. After that, the system will become unstable or nonlinear system. Okay. So you are familiar with that particular situation. നിങ്ങൾ എല്ലാവരും പ്രഷർ കൺട്രോളർ ചെയ്തതാണ്. അതിൽ KP equal 20 വരുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് സസ്റ്റൈൻഡ് ഓസിലേഷൻ ആണ് വരുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമുക്കൊരു ലിമിറ്റ് സൈക്കിളിൻ്റെ സിറ്റുവേഷൻ വന്നു. നോൺ ലീനിയർ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ പ്രോസസ് കൺട്രോൾ പോയിന്റ് ഓഫ് വ്യൂവിൽ ദാറ്റ് വൺ ഈസ് ആൻ അൺസ്റ്റേബിൾ സിസ്റ്റം. സോ ദാറ്റ് സിറ്റുവേഷൻ മസ്റ്റ് ബി അവോയ്ഡഡ്. നൗ in order to, what is the purpose of D? It have two different purpose. First one, it is used to damp the response. If the response is oscillating, in order to damp that oscillation, derivative action is used. And the second important purpose is, it is used to reduce the effect of lag. It is used to reduce the effect of lag. Okay, you can see that in open loop tuning, we are using only two parameters. What are those two parameters? Lag L and response time capital T. L and capital T. And interesting thing is, KD is directly proportional to lag. KD factor, KD and Ka are determined by using L only. T is not used for that purpose. If it is PID, I think KD is equal to 2 into L, I think. I am not remembering that. So anyway, it is directly proportional to L. KD is equal to TD, that is equal to something into L. So if lag is more, KD will also, TD or KD will be more, because it is directly proportional to that. And what about intergalation? For highly lagged system, Ki value must be small. Ki value must be small. Okay. What is the purpose of intergalation? Intergalation is used if the system is affected by disturbance. So in temperature application, definitely we can expect disturbances. So here we need to use PID controller. Is it okay? So please note, we are using PID controller. What is the location of this temperature measurement? What will happen if you are locating this temperature measuring device far away from this heat exchanger, somewhere here? You can see that this one is a pipeline, this one is a pipeline. Here we have a heat exchanger, then we have a pipeline. എന്താ സംഭവിക്കുക? ഇവിടെ ഹീറ്റ് ട്രാൻസ്ഫർ, ഇവിടെ നമുക്ക് ട്യൂബ് ഉണ്ട് അല്ലേ, ഇവിടെ ഹീറ്റ് എക്സ്ചേഞ്ചറിൻ്റെ ട്യൂബ് ഉണ്ട്. സോ ട്യൂബ് പറഞ്ഞൊരു പൈപ്പ് ലൈനാണ്. ആ പൈപ്പ് ലൈനോട് തൊട്ട് നിൽക്കുന്ന ലിക്വിഡ് ആദ്യം ഹീറ്റ് അബ്സോർബ് ചെയ്യും. ബാക്കിയുള്ള ലിക്വിഡോ ഇവിടെ നിൽക്കുന്ന ലിക്വിഡോ അത് ഹീറ്റ് അബ്സോർബ് ചെയ്യില്ല. സോ നമ്മളിവിടെ ഈ ഒരു ലെയർ കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, സം ലെയേഴ്സിൻ്റെ ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ കൂടുതലായിരിക്കും, സം ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ കുറവായിരിക്കും, ബാക്കിയുള്ള ലെയറിൻ്റെ ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ കൂടുതലായിരിക്കും. ജസ്റ്റ് ആഫ്റ്റർ ദി ഹീറ്റ് എക്സ്ചേഞ്ചർ ഇതിങ്ങോട്ട് മൂവ് ചെയ്യും തോറും ലെയർ ബൈ ലെയർ ഹീറ്റ് ട്രാൻസാക്ഷൻ നടക്കും. സോ ഒരു പർട്ടിക്കുലർ പോയിന്റ് എത്തിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ എല്ലാ ലെയറിലും ഒരേ ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ ആവും. ഹീറ്റ് ട്രാൻസാക്ഷൻ ബിറ്റ്വീൻ ദ ലെയർ വിൽ ഓക്ക്. Okay. So please note, this temperature measuring device must be located far away from heat exchanger to ensure perfect mixing of the layer or temperature, or perfect sharing of the temperature. Okay. So means temperature measurement will be accurate if you are keeping it far away from the heat exchanger. But what about lag? The measurement lag will increase if you are keeping this measuring device far away from the heat exchanger. So the measurement lag point of view, this measuring device must be located very close to the heat exchanger. Otherwise lag will increase. So we have a contradictory statement. In order to improve the accuracy, we need to locate the measuring device far away from the heat exchanger, and in order to decrease lag, we need to locate the measuring device very close to the heat exchanger. So we need a balanced position. We need some compromise. So at that point we have to locate. So this is a trial and error method. So anyway, by using that, we have to locate the temperature measuring device. Is it okay?